Hey everybody, it's Lisa from Shabby Road Studio. Welcome back to my channel. Today is an upcycling video, and in front of me I have another piece that I got for Christmas from my older son, who knows I like to upcycle, and so he grabbed up some clothes that he thought would be fun for me, and this is one of them. I have struggled with this one. I like it, and I thought, what could I do to upcycle it into something else? I thought about possibly adding on some length and making it a longer jacket. These kind of flap things here kind of throw me. They're cute, but I just, I don't know for sure about that. So then I got this idea that what if I just utilize this by taking it apart and making a pattern out of it. This jacket fits me perfectly, pretty much. So the size is good. If whatever I chose to create from this I wanted to keep, it would fit me. And if I want to sell it, then that's good too. So what I want to do, if you've been on Instagram at all, of course you've seen the big trend right now is quilted jackets. So I have this old quilt. It's like a bedspread. Looks like there's a little mending right there. It's an older one. It's a cream inside, or the back side I should say, and then just like kind of a shabby chic color patchwork on the front. Like I said, it's old, and it's not anything fancy like it was from the store. So it's got the tags, But I thought this might be good to start on and to practice with, and if it turns out cute. Even if there's some hole that I run across, like some stitching that's undone or a hole or something, that's perfect, because then I can just take a piece of fabric from my stash and make another patch, and it'll be all the more patchy. So what I thought was we would start with something like this before I go to anything else. But there's a lot of people that are just basically upcycling these old quilts into jackets. And I kind of thought I would dip my toe into that area. Some of these jackets are going for some really good money. I don't think that my creations are going to go for that kind of money, but I would like to get an idea if it's something that I would enjoy making. Maybe I'll get this all done and it's not something I feel like I want to do. But for me, today, I thought this would be fun as an upcycling video, because we're upcycling this jacket into a pattern, and then we're upcycling this quilt into a jacket. So also, it's not going to be, this table isn't super large, and the area that you can see isn't nearly as much room as I have, so it might be difficult for when I start laying this out, because I did notice when I was looking this over, there are no separate sleeves to this, which is nice in one way. Nice that you can just sew up around the sleeve and not have to worry about sewing a sleeve on. But when you have this big of a pattern piece, you really have to have, and it's okay for this quilt, but say you were trying to use a smaller quilt, or you're trying to make a smaller piece of blanket work, and you could rearrange some of your pieces. This is a little bit more difficult, because this is one large piece like this, like an L shape, so you have to have that space. That's all I'm saying. But we're gonna give it a try. Yeah, that's all I can say. We're gonna give it a try. So right now, off camera, I am going to and this has hidden pockets in the seam. I don't like that. I won't be doing that here. This one I'll make some kind of a square pocket or an angled pocket, because I don't like these in the seam ones. You just have to reach back, too far to get your hands in these seam pockets. So that doesn't bother me, but I'm going to try to undo this, seam rip this thing, or cut it. I don't know. I'm going to do the best I can to get, to maintain the shape that I need for a pattern. And then I'll be back and we'll start to try to lay out those pieces on this old quilt. All right, so I'll see you when I'm done deconstructing this piece. Well, alrighty then. That was not going to happen with the seam ripper. So I had to cut it the best I could. The seams were not just a simple seam, they were sewn once and then folded up and no, it wasn't happening. So what I did, I just cut it at the seam the best I could. It's not perfect, but it's going to be workable, because when I cut out my pattern or my pieces on the quilt, I'm just going to go, you know, give myself a little extra seam allowance. But this is the back piece. Okay, so on the quilt, I'm not going to try to put this big piece like this. What we're going to do is fold it, and this is how you would do if this was a pattern piece. You'd have this piece like this, and then let me turn it this way. You'd have this piece like this, and they would say put this piece on the fold. So we'll have our folded quilt, and then we'll just have this piece on the fold, and you cut it and open it up, and it'll be this gigantic back piece. So that's the back section, and then there's two front sections. So you've got this one, which is the right front. You're just up and around, easy peasy sleeves. There's no sewing in sleeves. And then here is the other part. Same thing. This goes up a little bit, curves up a little bit. So this is the left front. And it looks like I'm going to have to deal with some bias tape, which I hate, but anyway, that's how they finish off. Well, this one's double, but anyway, yeah. So, like the edges, raw edges. Anyway, these are the two front pieces, which, like I said, this takes up a bit of room unless you know, finagle these pieces a bit. But you're not going to want to turn them, like, you want them, unless you lay this on a folded piece as well. If this is folded, then you can lay this and get the right side of each. Because if you try to, well, people that sew know what I mean. If you try to go like this, you're going to have the wrong pattern on the wrong side. So anyway, all right, let's get this quilt up here. I don't have much room on this table for doing such things as this, but let's see what we can do. This has a scalloped edge. I was like, what do you call that again? Scalloped edge on it, which will be would be fun if you could get the bottom, if you could get that to fall at the bottom on all the pieces. That would be kind of fun to have that scalloped edge. This is just so big that it's going to be tough to wrangle this around. So this is why I upcycle, folks. This is try to film a big piece of fabric like this, or as you know, it's a quilt, but it's still fabric. Is hard to do on a video. So like I said, let's just fold it inside out here. It doesn't matter. Okay. I will be back when I have this more prepared to show you. Alright, I've laid this out. This is the back, and I have folded this piece over just to right here so that we don't waste a bunch. You want to try to cut this out to save as much fabric as you can. So I am going to, I didn't pin this down, I just kind of tacked these two pieces together. I am going to just, and it's on the fold over here. I'm not sure how much you can see from where we're at. It is folded here, and this is a double just up until this, and then the rest. So what I'm going to do is try to just cut out, I'm not going to cut the bottom because it's at, I'm going to leave the scallop part hanging, so I'm going to come up from the side and just cut with a little extra for seam allowance around the edge and down and up. So, and then when we have that piece, then we can rearrange this quilt to find the best placement for the two front pieces. So that's what I'm going to do right now. If this works out and I like the pattern and the style and everything, then I will take this pattern that I have from the upcycled jacket and just kind of make a pattern on something, you know, something more sturdy. Probably not just paper, but something that would be usable, easier to use over and over again. So I'm just going to go a little bit longer here. Here we go. Okay. So let's move this piece. Alright, I'm going to get this placement and then I'll be back. Okay, so once I got this laid out, I realized that if I have this folded, I don't need two pieces of this because this one will be the right side and then the one on the bottom will be going the other way, will be the left. So I only need to cut out this piece twice. And that's what we're doing on the fold because it's folded. So I've added a little extra at the bottom. So we're just going to go up. Definitely think if this doesn't work like I hope, I will definitely just go on Etsy and buy a pattern, which I hate to because this is really not much to it. Should be able to figure out a pattern from this, but you never know. And this is only one style. If I wanted to do a different style, like with a hood or a collar or something. I don't know. I'm not a fan of patterns and stuff. And I said I'd never do it, but here I am. But I thought it'd be fun to give these quilt jackets a try. Then I had a quilt in my closet. Even though I bought it at a thrift store, I was like, oh, I can't cut into this. I don't want to cut this. You know, I love quilts. Like I would collect them and just hang on to it. I hoard them. Let's just be real. I hoard quilts, and I don't. There's quilts I won't cut into, and those are a couple I got after my mom passed away that were hers, and I would never cut into those ones. Those will just stay. And I use them on the bed and stuff, but that's something from her that I wouldn't ever cut into. So, alright, here we go. There's that. So, I have a lot left. Obviously, I'll cut some pockets from the rest, but so this, because this is, yeah, let's take this piece off and I'll show you. So we have right side and left. Cute. It could be really cute if I can do it right. This one has a little bit more cream here, which is okay. It's just, you know, it's going to be a fun jacket. And I made it a little bit longer than the other one, so this will be fun. And then you take your back piece. Pretty big. You're gonna lay these pieces together. You're gonna take these pieces right side together and sew up. And hope you got them the same. Oh, this is so out of my comfort zone, you guys. I mean, I've used patterns before and I've sewn before, but I prefer upcycling because it's just much more forgiving. But anyway, you're just gonna sew up and around down that sleeve on both sides, and then you've got the main shell of the jacket. And you're just gonna have to take these, and go around them with seam binding. And the same with the top, around the top and down the front. So yeah, I will go sew one of these sides together and see what we have. I have to change my thread to a good color, and then I'll give it a shot and see what we have. And I'll be back. Okay, so I just wanted to show you where I'm at. So the whole thing is sewn together. I didn't look back at the video. This is the next day, and I didn't look back at the video to see where I left off. Sorry about that. Anyway, I used, took a sheet that I had that's kind of got a pattern on it. Can you see that? And I cut a long strip, and I just did, I didn't have any seam binding. Well, I had like a little pack, but there was no way it was going to go up and all the way around. So I thought I might as well just use a sheet, cotton sheet, and this one I felt went well with the jacket. So I used that. I sewed around, I've never really done this before, so I just took it and sewed it on this side first like that, and then I folded it over and sewed on the front top stitch. And then on the inside I took pinking shears and cut it off. So it's not, it's still, you know, unfinished, or I don't know, it's finished with pinking shears, so it should be fine on there. But anyways, now what I'm getting to next is we need to make a couple of pockets for the front. So I have a piece here that I want to use, and we're just gonna fold it like right about there. Let me get rid of the coat first and get that out of the way. And I made this pattern out of a piece of paper. I want to do the kind of triangular, slide your hand in this way rather than the top one. So trying to see where I might want that. Like probably right there. Okay, and I've already left like a little bit of them. So with the pocket, I'm going to have to fold it over like that to sew it. So this will be folded. It'll all be folded because it's not going to have any seam binding. So I'm hoping I can do it the way I'm thinking, with just folding it under like I did on the sleeves here. I just folded those under, like zigzagged it and then stitched it. So I'm hoping I can do that with this. It is kind of thick. Other than that, I might have to put like a piece on the pocket, possibly, right like that, where your hand goes in. But anyways, I've left enough of a seam allowance on this so I'm just going to cut around. And then because it's doubled up, I will have one for each side of the jacket. And then it'll be done. Unless I want to add anything, but it's been a fun project. I know you don't get to see a lot because a lot of it's just sewing, and I am not one to have my camera over there by, you know, take my camera down, try to set up a tripod so you can see the sewing machine. I just never have done that. I know some people that do sewing videos or upcycling have done that, but oops. I just feel like it would be really difficult to do that. Okay, so now we have left and right pockets. So it'll be, you know, stitched on like that. I'll figure that out, and I'm gonna probably put these on, I don't know, right about there somewhere. That'll be cute. But again, I'll have to try this coat on and try to determine where I want the pockets to be, because you can't just look at this and place them. You have to know where you're going to put them. So anyways, I'll do that, and then I'll be back. Okay, I just wanted to show this step real quick. I have put, so I've taken some of that fabric that I showed you from the sheet, this pattern sheet. I made the binding here. Then I took the pocket and kind of zigzagged around the edges just to keep them together, and laid this on, put it on, pinned it where I felt it laid, you know, it fell comfortably, and then I'm putting it on the jacket and just folding over as I go, folding and pinning so that I can come in here with a straight stitch and just stitch all the way around here, leaving our pocket. So yeah, hopefully that works out good, and then I'll do this one on the other side. But I just wanted to show you this step before I go and sew it. Okie dokie, it is done. We have both of the pockets sewn on. Nice opening here for your hands, nice big deep pockets. Yeah, you know, the only thing is these inside seams aren't, you know, they aren't finished off. I don't know, they're zigzag, but they're not, there's still raw edges in there, so it's not a reversible, that's what I'm trying to say, it's not a reversible quilted jacket, but it is, I think it turned out cute for the first time I've ever done anything like this. I'm pretty pleased with it. I put it on, for me, personally, the sleeves for me are, I don't know, they don't come down long enough. I have long arms, and so I'm not going to be keeping this. I'm going to be selling it on in my Etsy shop, so if anybody's interested, it'll be posted there. But yeah, otherwise, I think it turned out cute, and I'm interested in making more if I can find some cute thrifted quilts somewhere. I mean, you wouldn't want to spend too much on a quilt just to cut it up to make a jacket, but I think a thrifted quilt, garage sale quilt, something like that, I think these would really be cute to make. So the next thing you'll see that way is this on the mannequin. I don't know that I'll put it on. We'll see. Depends on how much lighting I have in this house. It's very hard to take pictures and videos in here. And it's way, 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 way too cold to go out and do a video like I did previously on my upcycling videos, because it's Michigan and it's super cold right now. So anyway, stay tuned for the pictures and or possibly a video. But other than that, thanks for watching this video with me, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.